harassment of women. As you say, there's a long list of MPs who are engaging in this behaviour.
It's shocking. Do you think, are they doing, every time one of these stories breaks, Doctor, we hear senior politicians, sometimes ministers saying, yes, we're going to address this. I have to say, then it seems to just get knocked into the long grass. Can I put it to you, they're not doing anything like enough to tackle this?
No, I don't think they are doing anything really to tackle it at all. I mean, there should be a zero tolerance policy, shouldn't there? To make it clear this behaviour won't be allowed. I mean, my concern is that these are members of Parliament that are in charge of making laws that are supposed to end male violence against women and girls, and they are the ones that are likely perpetrating this behaviour. So isn't there a vested interest in them not voting for these laws, not putting them forward? Because after all, some of them are the perpetrators. So why would they want to end male violence against women and girls in society if they're the ones perpetrating it? That's my real concern. The other one is that some of these MPs, of course, are working with vulnerable women and girls in their constituency, whether that's rape complainants who go to them because they're suffering through the criminal justice system or the family justice system and seeking advice and support. Some of them won't know that they have a history of sexual harassment which leaves them in a very precarious situation, a very vulnerable one indeed. And that's my worry. And so, when I've been on this programme, Nick, speaking to you about how we need to make misogyny a hate crime, we need to criminalise sexual harassment, of course MPs are not going to do it. Of course the government isn't going to do it, because the predators and perpetrators are sitting within Westminster.
Finally, and I know I can rely on you to respect the law, but you are aware of a Conservative MP who is facing a series of rape and sexual assaults. There are two claims here. One from Labour politicians is that he should be named, and the other is that he should be expelled. Dr. Pratt, where are you on both those aspects?
Well, I think that he should be named, and I think that he should be suspended from the party and should have his work suspended as well during the course of those investigations into very serious criminal acts, and it should be made clear by the party that they consider them to be so serious and so grave that this individual is not allowed to continue, not only in his constituency, meeting with women and girls, essentially other vulnerable individuals, but also voting in Parliament.
Dr. Charlotte Pratt, thanks as ever for your time on these issues. You're a human rights barrister. You specialise in the field of violence against women and against girls. It's not like any workplace, is it? And they seek to govern us. We'll take your views on this crowd after this 8:16 LBC News headline. Simon Conway.
Speaking to LBC, the policing minister Kit Malthouse has dismissed calls for officers to use discretion over shoplifting offences during the cost of living crisis. The UN Secretary General has warned the war in Ukraine could cause a global food crisis. A man has been charged with assaulting Sheffield United captain Billy Sharp. LBC weather dry and bright for many and feeling warm in the south and east, a high of 22 degrees.
LBC Travel, I'm Joanne Webb. The M56 in Cheshire stays closed in both directions between junctions 12 at Runcorn and 14 at the Chester services, and that's because of an ongoing investigation. There are delays westbound from junction 11 at Preston Brook and eastbound from junction 15 at the M53 interchange. Also long delays on the surrounding routes, especially the A55 and the A56. Now elsewhere, there are delays on the M6 on Merseyside northbound up to junction 23 at Haydock, and that's because a car has broken down in the roadworks. In Hertfordshire, the A412 Denham Way is closed in both directions south of Maple Cross, and that's following an accident, and there are lengthy delays in both directions.
LBC. Hi everyone, Jamie Oliver here. We all know it can be healthier to eat your veg. That's why I've created a delicious veggie curry in partnership with Tesco and WWF. Discover my veg pack recipe on Tesco Real Food, filled with spring greens, chickpeas and sweet potato. Tesco, every little helps.
The veggie curry recipe is a source of protein which contributes to the maintenance of muscle mass as part of a varied and balanced diet and healthy lifestyles. To find out more on the WWF partnership, see tesco.com/better-baskets for details.
Call Nick Ferrari now, 0345 6060 973. This is LBC. Auto Lease Compare. Say hello to leasing. Say hello to Auto Lease Compare, the car leasing comparison site that lets you compare the best leasing deals on the market from the UK's most trusted leasing providers. Auto Lease Compare will get you into a brand new car for less. You pick the car, we find the deal, inclusive of warranty, road tax and free delivery. Say hello to leasing. Say hello to Auto Lease Compare. Auto Lease Compare.
Wearing glasses can make you look intelligent,
That's right.
but not in William's case.
Oh, sorry, what?
William knows pi to 30 decimal places. Yeah, he knows the whole of Hamlet's soliloquy, and he knows how to rebuild a car engine.
It's true.
But he didn't know that stylish, well-made glasses start from £19 at Specsavers. So his expensive glasses that he bought elsewhere just make him look a little bit daft.
Oh dear.
Complete single-vision glasses from £19 at Specsavers. You know you should.
Hey, Harry. Hello, mate. Any tips for the big game? It's a tough one to call. Your best bet is to ask Michael Owen. Yeah, Michael. Hello, Gaffer. You got any tips for the football? Oh, I think there'll be plenty of goals. No, I can't see that. Both defences are strong. Yeah, but the little fella up top's lightning. Sorry, lads. I've got to go. I've got money on the next race.
Whether you listen to Harry or Michael, make your best bet at BetVictor. Search online for latest offers. 18 plus, be gamble aware. Please gamble responsibly.
Nick Ferrari at breakfast. Call 0345 6060 973.
How they seek to govern us, John, you'll be the first call on that. Let's just pick one Labour and one Conservative. Just give a little bit more detail on the sort of people we've talked about, convictions with drug possession, sex assault and various others. The Labour, Keith Vaz, retiring as an MP in 2019 after a 6-month common suspension for offering to buy cocaine for male prostitutes. He claimed to be a washing machine salesman. Do you remember big washing machines, industrial washing machines? When the men were invited to his apartment as male prostitutes. That's on the Labour side. On the Conservative side, Andrew Griffiths, just last year, concluded the former Conservative minister had raped his wife while she was asleep and subjected her to a coercive control. The judgment detailed alleged domestic abuse by Griffiths towards his wife Kate, who is now the serving MP for the Conservatives. It also included pressing her into sex, physically assaulting her, and verbally abusing her. Griffiths denied allegations and had adamantly denied rape. He did resign from Parliament. And they tell us the laws. John is in Forres. Now, where's Forres in Scotland, John? Good morning.
Good morning, Nick. Forres, straight up the A9, you get to Inverness and then turn right.
Oh, wow. You're right up there, sir. You're right up there.
Lovely. Beautiful sunny morning.
Oh, how lovely. Well, congratulations. Enjoy your lovely day. So I've just read the charge sheet for about a dozen of these people. What do you make of them?
Yeah.
Morning.
I think it's absolutely outrageous, and let me just say this, that I know there are some MPs in Parliament, Welsh, Scottish, English, whatever, who are honourable,
Indeed.
decent people, and who do no job. However, there are increasingly more and more of these people who obviously they've got no code, honour, integrity. They're supposed to be there guiding the country. And these things continue to creep out of the woodwork.
What level of respect? What level of respect do you have for them, John?
Absolutely zero. Respect is a thing that has to be in.
Indeed.
And these people, like I say, no code, no honour, no integrity.
Devastating input. Enjoy your day in Forest. I'm glad the sun shines on Inverness, shining on the righteous. Philip in Cambridge, you're on the radio. Good morning, Philip.
Good morning, Nick. So I just want to remind listeners that there have been a number of MPs who have been accused of sexual offences. Leon Britton, Harvey Proctor, all innocent.
Indeed.
So a QC coming on and saying that the MP should be named without going through legal due process is pretty staggering. And the fact that people are leading on this story itself undermines the political process. People saying, I've got no respect for these MPs. They've got to go through a political process, a legal process.
All I would say is you make very, very good points, and points which I should have challenged the barrister, and I'm grateful to you. If it was Nick Ferrari, it wouldn't be a radio presenter. My name would be out there. Nick Ferrari accused of rape, whatever. In the hope that if other people have been subjected to me raping them, of whatever gender, then they're going to come forward. That's why they do it. So, by the way, I think I'm with you, but I'd have to challenge you. Why not the same for this MP?
Well, I'm not quite sure. Not only does it undermine the legal process, innocent before proven guilty, it also undermines people's faith in the political process. Your previous caller was going on about these people don't deserve our respect. They do. A lot of MPs work very hard. None of this is spoken about. And as I say, numerous MPs, Leon Britton, Harvey Proctor, many more, have been accused without, and they were innocent. So let's please go through a legal process without some QC coming on saying they should be publicly named.
You've missed one who's a personal friend, by the way, and I'm delighted to see him back in post. Nigel Evans, of course, one of the deputy speakers. He was also totally falsely accused of these sort of crimes as well. One with the subject of crime, just a sort of bit of a curveball. You're in Cambridge, so you are policed by Cambridge Police. Have you heard the story about the superintendent with the rainbow helmet?
I haven't. I mean, look, a lot of the news nowadays is all about identity politics. Cambridge is pretty sort of, pretty mad on the stuff.
Is it?
I obviously think that, that the police should be doing their job. They have to remove politics from this type of thing. I mean, there are a lot of comprehensive schools in Cambridge that are flying the trans flag, which is totally inappropriate. That's, it's a political statement. So, yeah, my personal view is that politics should be removed from policing, as it should be removed from sport.
Philip, thank you for covering both stories. We are looking at that in more detail. This Superintendent James Southern. Check it out on lbc.co.uk if you've not seen the picture. There he is in his rainbow-coloured police helmet, because he was celebrating International Day Against Homophobia and Biophobia during an event in Ely. It's Ely, isn't it? We'll have more views on that. Right, let's get to other matters. Chris, I'll talk to you about MPs, and they seek to govern us. But we need to look at money matters, and the city regulator is to be given new powers over the UK's biggest banks and building societies to help protect the future of cash. Banks will be subjected to the FCA, which is the Financial Conduct Authority, powers to ensure communities have cash withdrawal and deposit facilities. Measures will be legislated for in the Financial Services and Markets Bill. Gemma Godfrey is business and personal finance expert, good friend to the show, and joins me now. Okay, a lifeline for cash, but ultimately, should we be candid, is it on life support? Good morning.
Good morning. I think that's the key issue here, is how to implement this. So on the one hand, everybody deserves to have access to cash, and the trouble in our communities is it's the most vulnerable that need the cash, that need to be able to access cash and don't have the digital skills to be able to go online. So we've all moved online, we're all doing more banking online, but people still need that lifeline to be able to access cash. And while it's great the regulator will be issuing and having these powers, how it's able to force banks who are closing unprofitable, they're doing it for reasons of their own profits, closing their own branches, how they're going to stop them doing that, is another matter entirely. So how they can implement this is a big question mark.
I might regret asking you this because of your professional job, but when did you last go into a bank as a customer, not perhaps for a meeting, as a customer?
That's actually a very good question, because I actually went in, I'd say within the last couple of weeks. So actually, there you go. So I'm a big proponent of, moving things digitally, doing things online. People have great